Oh, here we go. We got a little owl sitting across the road on the next canal bank. And kind of see the alfalfa field in the background. Let's see, we'll pick up a lot of green there. So we'll go back and hit this little owl right here. So we get some focus back on there. There we go. So, burrowing owl. So I was driving down the road. He was sitting on my side of the canal and flew across. Happened to catch him in the mirror. They're a little skittish. So there was some mallard ducks. There's a couple of pairs of mallard ducks that live in this canal. This is the funkiest water. But they took off. I can never get too close to those guys. They're very skittish. They're worse than the owls. They're out of here because we have coyotes here. In fact, I just saw a coyote just about a mile north of here running through the cotton field. You know, you don't know they're there. Yeah, coyotes are they're everywhere. And we have just behind me, as I'm filming from my Jeep, is the Gila River. So they can work their way up from the river bottom. It's full of mesquite trees, tamarack trees, so there's plenty of cover down there for all kinds of wildlife. Badgers, mule deer, mountain lions, probably some bobcats down there. God, what else? Coyotes. Probably some foxes, although I have yet to see a fox, but there could be some around here. And you get farther down the Gila River towards the Robbins Butte, which is southwest of here. There's even some bighorn sheep up in the bluffs and mountains, the desert mountains there, which is kind of interesting. Didn't think they would be there. So this guy is sitting here quietly looking at me, and I'm looking at him, and we're kind of in a stare down, and that's how it is most of the time with burrowing owls. If you don't bug them, they can become your best little friend to a certain extent. I've had one owl that got really friendly and would come and sit on the Jeep front bumper, the pipe bumper, and eventually would work its way up right next to the passenger side in the cab here and sit on top of the jack, which was actually about as close as I think you can get to a burrowing owl other than holding one. So filming with the B-roll that morning was with the Canon M50 was pretty interesting, pretty exciting to have worked on this project so long, and that was kind of a reward for, I think, being nice to the owls and not bugging them. And I don't really stay too long on each visit to each burrow or each location. It just, if I'm there 5 minutes, 10 minutes max, and I just try to move on. And I think it's paid off over the long haul. The owls kind of know my Jeep, 1998 Jeep, it's purple. Doesn't matter about camouflage or anything like that. Because I'm in the Jeep, I hardly ever get out of the Jeep, except if to check a burrow opening if it's been caved in, and there's usually no owls around. So they're just interesting little raptors. They're not the smallest owl. The pygmy owls are smaller than the burrowing owls. The pygmy owls are endangered. Pygmy owls live in the hollowed out sections of the saguaro cactus. Woodpeckers go and peck into the meat of the tree all the way into the midribs, the wood ribs that hold the structure of the saguaro cactus. And so when those holes get big enough, the little pygmy owls go in there and live. So it's a lot of work to find those guys, although there's supposed to be a study going on at the Phoenix Zoo Going in to check that out this weekend to see how that program is going. And also, I understand there's a couple burrowing owls there. I don't know where they are. I got to call and find out where they are. So anyway, it's kind of nice out here tonight. I just really enjoy the cooler evenings. The sun is definitely setting. It should be down pretty quick. I think it's already gone over the horizon. A few clouds finally. For all you photographers that moan and groan about you got to have the best light in the world, you got to have clouds and stuff, come to Arizona. We don't have any clouds half the time here down in the desert. Although tonight's pretty neat. We got a little sunset tonight, which is kind of neat. But not a lot. Hopefully tomorrow we're supposed to get a 10% chance of rain. That means 90% that it's not going to rain. I love that 10% forecast from the weather people, which do a good job here in Arizona. So it's getting a little dark. So what we're going to do here is I'm going to increase the ISO. I was at 500. I just put it up to 800. And we're sitting at f7.1. And filming on the Z6, 1/50th. I think we're on automatic white balance, auto white balance. So this guy is just hanging out like I'm hanging out. Hasn't flown yet. Eventually he'll get tired of me, or I'll get tired of him, or it'll get dark, and then we'll say goodnight and move on. But he just moved a little bit. Something's happening. One of the problems working from the Jeep is I gotta be checking the mirrors all the time, because I don't know when somebody will come running, hiking, riding their horses, ATVs, anything will come flying down through here, and the owls usually let me know when somebody's coming. They're good little watchdogs, but they're very skittish. They're always looking for the red-tailed hawks. I'll probably say that a lot of times, but that's their biggest nemesis. So this guy's kind of hunkered down. As you can see, they have great camouflage, and these guys blend in to the dirt pretty good, especially if they've got some bird poop around the ground or around their burrow. It just makes it easier. And sometimes if they get really, really nervous, they're by a burrow that's really in the roadway, they'll just kind of hunker down, put out their wings, and hawk's not going to really see them down there. But this guy's just kind of sitting here. Let's put the ISO up a little bit. Okay, we're up to 1,000, and I'm going to lower down the... whoops, I always go the wrong way. Shoot, what's wrong with me? So we're at f6.3. I can keep going on with this for a long time as far as f-stops and ISO when we're filming. So he's just kind of sitting here. Life is good. They're kind of relaxing after the, it's a rough time when they're have owlets down in the burrow. The female's got to sit on the eggs. The male's got to feed the female. She comes out of the hole or the burrow from time to time. Once they hatch, she'll help feed them. And it's really a unique system that they have. They mate for life, from what I understand, from what I've read. So the male takes care of the female. The female will lose some weight, and you definitely can kind of tell the difference between the male and the female during the breeding season. And he's out hunting. I have yet to see them eat any of the round-tailed ground squirrels or mice, field mice that are around here. Along this canal bank, they concentrate on crickets, beetles, and dragonflies. I've seen them feed dragonflies many, many times to the owlets. I don't know the timing. It's probably 4 to 5 weeks in that range before the owlets will emerge from the hole. It's about a 2-month process, and then they hang around. If they're born in certain times, from April through July, I had some that were in July. So as they start coming out of the hole, they exercise or cover wood down. Here comes somebody with a horse. That's going to pretty much do us in right here. So there's a lady coming on a horse, exercising her horse on the canal road, and this little guy is watching the horse. Hi. Yeah, he didn't fly, so that's pretty cool. So let's up the ISO, and let's kind of go. Let's go down with the. Okay, we're at f5.6. And that's as far as we can go as f5.6, because that's the max on the f-stop. We're wide open at f5.6. When I have the 7200 on here, I can get down to 2.5, no problem. But we're still doing pretty good. We're ISO 1250. The sun has set. We got just some twilight creeping out behind the canals, but we still got some nice side lighting. Still got some color this evening, and we're still hanging in there. So we'll hang in here a few more minutes and play with the ISO. That's all we can do. We can just keep increasing the ISO. Noise really hasn't been a problem. So we're at ISO 1250. And we still got some nice color. That's why I like this. The Z6 is nice. This 7300 has a pretty good reach around here. Once in a while we'll use the 200, 500, and it does fine. The Z6 does a little bit better video, but the D850 works just as well. Probably going to put the Atomos Ninja back on here because I kind of like that extra screen sitting off the angle of the way I do the setup here in the Jeep. So we're sitting on the iFootage fluid head with the Z6 mounted to that, which has worked really, really good. iFootage makes some great monopods and tripods. So that's kind of like how I like to do it. And I've got the small little Rode with a lavalier, which seems to be the best way to go. If I'm trying to record owl sounds, I'll put the shotgun Rode mic with a dead cat on it to pick up some of the sounds. But this has been, the Rode mic has worked here pretty good. So we're still getting some nice color. We're at 1250. Thank God there's no mosquitoes anymore. So let's just pop this up a little bit more. That's 1600 ISO. That's 2000 ISO. And we're still doing pretty good. The histogram looks good on the camera. I utilize the histogram all the time. If I can kind of keep that centered, then I'm doing pretty good. I'm getting a pretty good shot of the owl. Sometimes I run into problems with the camera trying to focus as it gets darker. It starts, having to work a little harder. But so far tonight, it's working. Sometimes we run into some focusing issues. So the monitor's nice, and the touch automatic focus is kind of interesting to have. I like it. I like the Z6. It does good. I started with this filming really back, and I believe I got this in March, the Z6. Actually got the Z6 and the D850 at the same time, almost the same time, within a week or two, because it was time to get rid of the D800. The D600 just needed a little bit better camera setup for what I was trying to do. So this guy, so let's get this ISO up some more. That's ISO 4000. You can really see it. And the sun is gone. It's just that little twilight, little bit of red-orange as the sun sets. So we're still pulling in some nice light. Ten to 6. So the sun set about 5:45. I'll have to look on my app on the phone to see exactly when it's set. It's not set. There we go. So we're doing good. We still got a little bit of battery on the left on the camera, about halfway. When we get the Ninja on here, you really have to watch the battery. It seems like it sucks a little bit more power out a little quicker. This guy's really hunkered down just over the edge of the top of the berm by the road. So didn't see any hawks tonight. Sometimes we'll see some night hawks, sometimes some bats this time of evening. So we're at ISO 4000. Let's crank it up a little bit more. Let's crank up the ISO. Okay. Well, it's really nice this evening. Gosh, I think we were 88 high today. This is November 5th, Election Day in the United States, 2019. And this owl could give a hoot about an election. Yeah, we're kind of losing it. We got the light, but we're at ISO 5000. This guy's hanging in there. I don't know where his mate is. This could be a solitary owl. It's hard to tell the age. This could be one of the owlets that was born on this canal bank area. So I don't know. I didn't see any other owls here tonight. So they do that. They do take off. Sometimes the adult owls will find some tunnels from the got somebody walking their dog. Well, sometimes and we're going to get some visitors here, I'm afraid. Okay, 5,000. Some people out walking. Let's crank up the ISO. Somebody walking. Sometimes we get some visitors along here. 6,400. We're doing good. Got some people out walking. Got their dogs. Hello. These people have like 4 dogs and they've been down in the canal. They look like a mess. So, oh, here comes the horse. Wow, that's a lot of action here tonight. There goes the horse. Ladies, I didn't want to move the camera. I don't have the Canon going, so the people are holding their dogs so they don't chase the lady that's riding the horse, and we'll have one hell of a mess here. So, Yeah, I didn't have the other camera going. Take my word for it. That could have been exciting. Up there was a dog trying to chase the horse. Got 4 dogs, 1 on a leash. And I guess people figure they can walk their dogs out here and not cause any issues. But horses and some dogs just don't get along very well. And it's kind of interesting, coyotes are in this area, and there have been some complaints in the cities because of lack of water and food. The coyotes are coming into the residential areas and jumping the 6-foot fences, 5-foot gates, and getting in people's backyards and grabbing their dogs and jumping over the fence and taking off and having chow. So that's been an issue here in the Phoenix area. I just saw that on the news, I think today. So anyway, we're at 6,400 ISO. We've had a little action tonight. Sun's almost down, but we still got some color. Had some visitors tonight. And this guy's still hanging in there and did not fly with all that action. So maybe it's because I'm sitting here, not causing any problems. He feels safe. Who knows? I mean, that's only wishing and hoping. So we're about ready to finish up here. I'm just going to crank the ISO up some more, see what we got. That's 8,000. So you can see what it is. There's 10,000. Still doing pretty good. I don't see any noise. I won't be able to catch much until we get back to the house. That's 10,000. And 12,008. 12.8 on the ISO. And we're still keeping focus. That's good. Still got a good histogram. 16,000. I can't really tell. Still doesn't look like much noise. And a great histogram. Almost dead center. Alright, that's 20,000. ISO. He's stretching. He's getting ready to go hunting. That's usually what they do. ISO 20,000. Still f.56. That's it on this lens. And we're still staying pretty much focused. Might be getting a little fuzzy. It looks still pretty good in here. But we're still almost dead center on that histogram. So that's 20,000. Shall we go higher? Let's do. What the hell? We're out here for fun. 25,600. Gives you a pretty good idea on the ISO. And that's almost dead center, and the sun is almost gone. This is just strictly a little bit of light that's left. Oh, damn mosquito. So this guy's getting a little active now. So they always do. He's ready to go do a little hunting. Oh, he's getting a little frisky now. Look at that, he stood up. Probably figures the hawks are gone. But we still have to worry about great horned owls that are around here, barn owls. They're on the property here in the farm. So there. So that's 25,600. Let's go a little higher. This is kind of fun tonight, huh? 32,000 ISO. We're still hanging in there. Wow. It's like winning the lottery here. We're just going up, up, up. Maybe we could win the lottery and get a really good shot. Oh, we lost him. He took off. He's going hunting. Well, anyway, thanks for spending the evening with me. It's time to go home, make some dinner. I still got a great ISO at 32,000, right? I mean, histogram. So anyway, it's time to go home, have some dinner. Got to cook some food for the wife. She'll be home from work. Don't forget to hit a like if you like this evening with the owls with Rich, and also subscribe, please. When I make this YouTube channel work, it's kind of fun to share all this information on the owls that I have to present. So, and hit the little bell hard so that if you like what we're doing, you can get any future uploads. So, alrighty, so everybody have a great evening, great dinner. If you're someplace else in the world, maybe it's morning, or have a good cup of coffee and a good breakfast, and I'm going to say good night.